How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and I've got some SnowRunner gameplay. I'm going to do the mission materials order. It's on Husky Forwarding. I'm in the Black River map, but it's all in Smithville. But I can get the consumables from the farm here, and I'm also pretty much right next to the metal planks. The concrete slabs are in Smithville, so I can't do anything about that on this map. So I've worked out my little plan and route and what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab metal planks from here. Obviously, one metal plank takes up 2 slots on your trailer, and I'm going to get consumables from the farm on this map. What I didn't really realise or think about at the time, there is another farm in Smithville Dam. So right now, when I've just grabbed the metal planks, I could actually just go to the tunnel, go to Smithville Dam, and then grab the consumables from the farm, which overall probably would be quicker than the way I'm doing it now. I'm going obviously to the farm on Black River, but once I got to Smithville Dam, the fact that I already had the consumables made it a lot easier, because the preacher's house that I have to drop it off to was pretty near to where you come out of the tunnel, whereas to go to the farm is like halfway in the map, and then I would have had to pretty much come back to the beginning. So that's my game plan. That's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely enjoying this game so far. I think they've done a really bloody good job of just all of it, really, especially compared to MudRunner. And I liked MudRunner. Obviously it wasn't a AAA polished game, but it had its charm. It did what it said it'd do, and it was a good game. This is like leaps and bounds ahead of it in just about every single way. Obviously graphics, the rendering difference, vehicle variety, just all little things. They've yeah, I'm loving it so far. To be honest, I'm sorry I made more videos. I was planning on doing it. Obviously I made that video the first night about turning your headlights on, and then the next day I got really bad toothache, and I've had really bad toothache throughout the last 4 days. And yeah, I've barely played the game, let alone trying to make videos. Obviously having a headset on my head, squeezing on the side now, but it's better than it was, so I've got to do something at some point. As for this Navistar 5000 thing, I definitely think it's worth getting. For those of you, if you pre-ordered the game, you should have got it for free. To be honest, I actually did pre-order the game, and for whatever reason I couldn't, it wasn't on my game. I ended up asking someone on YouTube, and they said, oh, you may as well contact the people. But to be honest, you could buy it on the PS store for £1.60 or whatever the hell it was. Not a lot anyway. And I thought, the amount of time I'm going to spend trying to email people, I may as well just buy it for £1.60. I believe what happened is, you did get it as a pre-order bonus, but it was if you pre-ordered it from places like Game or other sort of places like that. I pre-ordered it off Amazon, and I don't specifically know if like they were doing a pre-order bonus. I think you'd get an extra code off the company you ordered it from if you ordered it from like more of a gaming company. But I'm not bothered about that. Like, one of the nice things about this game, just the way they've designed it, it's not made to be a sweaty, painful grind that they've then said, oh look, here's a load of microtransactions though that you can buy to make life easier. The only things you can buy on microtransactions, obviously I'm just grabbing my consumables now, I pretty much got everything because I got the season pass just when I got that version of the game. But I think you can buy the Khan 39 with like the high roller paint job, and then obviously there's the Navistar, which was the pre-order bonus. So they are a couple of things, you can get them. I would recommend getting definitely the Navistar. The Khan is alright, I like it. You can't tow trailers or anything with it, so it is more of a scout thing. I do drive it over the CK1500 and stuff. But yeah, the Navistar is pretty damn good, and I think I can't remember if I've got it in by now, but I've bought the like Miracle of Military Engineering engine or whatever the hell it was called. 24 grand it cost me, but it's a beast. She motors. It gets through just about everything now. So I'll just plan my route to go to Smithville Dam. I could technically just turn around and go back the way I came to the farm, but I fancied a change of scenery. I've been up and down that road quite a bit, and I wanted to try my military engine. I love high gear. Fully recommend high gear for everything, because like going up this hill, if I was in auto and I was in like 5th out of 8 gear or whatever, it's bound to choke a little bit, and instead of just dropping it down to 4th, it pretty much stops you dead and drops it down to 1st. In high, you basically just motor through everything. You can technically stall it if you go slow enough, but it really doesn't happen that often, especially with the big daddy engine in there. I also like that you can drive through fuel stations and just quickly bang some fuel in without stopping. Yeah, just little things like that. The playability of this game, they've definitely done well. Little things like you can change the time of day and it doesn't cost you fuel, it doesn't fuck you around, it's just, it lets you do what time of day you want. If you don't want to bother with night time, then it doesn't penalise you for it. I like that. They've definitely, whoever's made this game has made it to be played, and it's not made in a way to just try and scam you out of, you know, like say, purposely make something crap and then say, oh, here's some microtransactions to get around it, which is what a load of companies do these days. It's pretty much the default for most of them. And you can see on my trailer, I've now got my metal planks and my consumables. The concrete slabs are also the same size as the metal planks, so I need 2 lots of concrete slabs, which is going to cost me like 4 spots on my trailer. So basically, long story short, I'm going to need to empty my trailer. Like, I'm going to need to deliver both of these before I bother getting the concrete slabs. But it all works out pretty nicely. Like I said, I could have got the farm consumables on the other map, but having done it this way in the end, it worked out pretty nice, so not fussed. I've just about done all the missions on this map as well, on Black River. To be honest, I've mainly done the tasks. I've not actually done many contracts. I've done some, but I've probably got more contracts left than tasks. Almost went off that bridge then. And if I had, it probably would have tipped me over and possibly lost the cargo in the trailer. Because the trailer, like the stuff in the trailer's strapped down, you can technically tip the trailer onto the side and it will kind of stay in, but it's not guaranteed. You'll see later, have a bit of an accident and you'll kind of see how the cargo behaves in the trailer. So I'm just going past the drilling site. I built that beast as well. That took towing a big fat trailer down there. Again, sorry I've not made more videos recently. I did the headlight video. I was going to do a video the next day, and I got really bad toothache, and I've just had like horrible toothache for the last 4 days. I've barely played the thing. It's finally getting a bit better now, so I'm sort of a bit more back to normal. But yeah, I'll try and get back to some normal videos. See, high gear, especially with this engine, it just motors through everything. And there, I let off to make sure I make the corner. You can see it doesn't stall easily at all. It's not, stalling is rarely a problem. The only time it really struggles in high gear is when you're going through thick, deep mud that's also kind of swamped with water. But as you can see, everything else, high gear just motors. It's definitely my favourite gear. That's the one I would recommend. Yeah, that's another thing I like about the game. I really like the way they've done the damage modelling. I don't know what it is about games, I just really like... I was looking at the lake thing out there and yeah, I crashed. Yeah, I just like how it's all individual, like you can damage each individual tyre. Obviously you got engine damage, suspension damage, fuel tank damage, gearbox damage. I like that, I always have liked that in games when it's really detailed. One thing that was a little bit shit with MudRunner, if any of you remember, like say you were driving a pickup truck and you drifted round a corner a bit wide and you'd clip your back end on the barrier, it'd pretty much wipe all your hit points out, and realistically you think, well, I just hit the arse end of the truck, that's not going to wreck the engine really at the front. Obviously in this it's a lot more, if you hit the front corner you damage that wheel, possibly the engine if it's the front, but yeah, it's just a lot more sort of detailed and realistic, really, and I like that about it. They've also made it so it's not too inconvenient. You don't just hit one rock and your tyre's fucked and you've got to turn around and stuff. You can definitely rally your truck a bit too hard and damage the crap out of it. I've done it a couple of times, but it's not to the point where it's inconvenient. You know yourself, really, you've been taking the piss a bit if you've actually managed to get your truck to a point where it's screwed. So anyway, this is the tunnel. We'll find her at Smithville Dam. I'll cut the loading screen out. So now we're here, I'm going to plan my route. So this is where I'm saying, if you see that yellow box like there, that's the preacher's house. He wants the consumables, and if I didn't get them from my farm, I'd have to go like over sort of to the middle of the map. There's the concrete slabs I'm going to need to get. So right now I'm just kind of figure out, right, what am I going to drop off in what order. So the concrete slabs need to go to that service hub in the top corner. There's the preacher's house who wants the consumables. There's the farm I'd have to go to if I didn't have the consumables. And then this is where the metal plank needs to go, to the quarry, which I thought was pretty cool. I've not been to this quarry yet. I drove past it once or twice, but... And again, I could get a metal plank you just seen there, like right on the other side of the map, really. But because I've done all the admin before I got here, I'm now ready to go. So I'm going to go to the preacher's house first and drop the consumables off, and then I'm going to come round this way, drop the metal plank off at the quarry. As I come back out the quarry, pick 2 concrete slabs up and then drive to the service hub. So it all works out pretty nicely. Apart from this tiny little bit of road, I don't really have to double back on myself too much. Every now and then you might see a couple of second glitch. There's nothing I can do, sorry about that, I just can't help it. It's the way the footage saves. It did it on Black Ops, it does it on Modern Warfare. It just must be something to do with the PlayStation. It just cuts bits out. This quarry can definitely be a bit of an awkward sod to drive into. Obviously with the scout vehicle you'd be fine, but as you'll see, it's not too bad, but with a truck and a long trailer, it's tight. So I've got my route sussed, and we're off. I'll just say quickly as well, I'm going to do more, I've got some videos of Modern Warfare to do. To be honest, it's my own fault. After grinding for that Damascus camo, I OD'd on Modern Warfare. I just needed to put it down for a bit. So I have got a couple of videos, but I'll get around to them. Obviously this game's came out now, and I did like the previous game. So I'm definitely going to be making a few more videos on this. Let's get some fuel while I'm going past. One thing about that military Marvel engineering engine thing, it drinks the crap out of fuel, which I like. That's a good thing. But yeah, you will be seeing petrol stations more often. I know the feeling. I used to have a E60 M5 that was a 5 litre V10, and Jesus Christ, that thing got... The lowest it'd tell you is 7 miles to the gallon. The car just wouldn't tell you lower than that, even if you were doing lower than that. Just as a quick tip, as you see now, I just collected that lost trailer thing. I'm not actually going to do it yet, but when you drive past tasks, if you just select the task and agree to it while you're there, you can always just go into the menu and stop tracking if you can't be arsed with it. But what it means is later on, the next day, whatever, you might be nowhere near that box to activate the task, and when I go into my list of tasks in the menu, I can now activate that lost trailer task without having to go back over there. So yeah, every time you see a task, this is what I've been doing, and I'd recommend it, is just keep activating them all. And like I say, you can turn the tracking off, and yeah, it just makes it a lot easier, because I don't know if some people know, I did it the other day where I towed something somewhere and I forgot to activate it, and I basically had to drive all the way back to where I just rescued this truck from just to activate it. And yeah, just now I've been doing it the last day or so, just activating them as I drive past them. I've had a couple of times now where it sort of came in handy that after I've finished one mission, it'll pop up in the top right corner saying, oh, now you got this mission to do, and it turns out like, oh, I'm already 3/4 of the way there actually, and I don't have to go back and activate. See, again, the high gear, even down here, the nice thing with high gear, nearly binned it. The nice thing with high gear is it doesn't go too fast downhill. Like if I now put it into auto, which I think I might do just to show my point, basically the turning on trucks isn't that fast, and downhill with the wind behind you in top gear, this thing goes quicker than it turns, and you can get yourself in a bit of trouble. In high gear, it's just that nice balance of, it gets motoring. Look, even in this mud, high gear, it just doesn't mess around, it cracks on. You get going where you need to go, but it's not so fast that you like panicking to avoid stuff and you're going quicker than your wheels can turn you. So we're not too far off the quarry now. There's a trailer I bought earlier. I dumped it there. It's a long story, I'll save that for another video, but it didn't get used in the end. There's me CK 1500. So there's another good point about this game. The views are like stunning on this game compared to what it used to be. Obviously they've massively upped the rendering distance so you can see a lot further, but just if you look at it, it's like the colours are brighter, obviously the graphics are better. It tends to happen as the years go by and stuff improves, but yeah, they've just done a really nice job of it. Everything about the game feels like inviting and like it wants you to play it rather than punishing you for playing it. I'm just trying to think of, like, you know how it is with most AAA companies. There are people like EA. A recent example of a shocker is Fallout 76. It's been an absolute shit show of a game from start to finish, yet they're a multi-billion-pound company. They've got all the money they could possibly need, and they always, EA's the same, they always use the same excuse, oh well we ran out of time, or it's like, no, you posted profits of billions of pounds last year. Hire more fucking developers and programmers and get it done right. If you're gonna keep robbing everybody's money, then at least deliver what you fucking said. Whereas this game, not even AAA game, has nowhere near the pool of money to access to make a game like this, and they've absolutely smashed it out the park. In terms of the size of the game compared to MudRunner, I don't actually know, but there must be hundreds of hours in this. Like, I looked earlier on the trophies and no one has even unlocked the platinum trophy yet, which I know it's only been out about a week and a half or whatever, but some people, you know, people would have grinded the shit out of this game and not one person has got that yet. And even if you think of a big game like Grand Theft Auto 5, I could probably complete that in a couple of days. This, I don't know. There's no fucking way you're completing this in a couple of days. Like, I've put, yeah, hours and hours and hours into this, and I've just about cleared one, probably two maps worth if you add them all up. I was going to go right there originally, but obviously because this trailer's pretty long and it was a bit of a tight corner, I'm just going to go the long way around here. But yeah, that's just like, say, this game just feels like inviting and like it wants you to play, and it's not trying to punish you to get you to buy things. Obviously the Navistar, like I said, and the Calm thing is for sale, but I'm not bothered about that because they did a season pass that gets you that stuff, and if someone didn't buy the season pass but they'd like to buy the Navistar, they can. And what is it, £1.69 I think it was. Like, £1.69 I can live with. That's less than the cost of a McDonald's latte or something. Like, they haven't gone, oh yeah, it's £5-10 just for a truck, and it's a bloody good truck as well for £1.69. So it's just worth getting. Like, I'm trying to think, when I played Black Ops 4, the reason I stopped playing Black Ops 4 was when they released a load of new weapons, and one of them was the Stingray gun, and it had explosive ammo, and it was just ridiculous. Everyone who had it was camping, and they were just getting kills left, right and centre because that thing was just crazy. You didn't even have to hit the people. As long as you shot near them, the explosion would kill them. It was like it was shooting mini grenades. And yeah, it was basically just after that came out, I fucked it off because I was like, this is just not fun anymore. And what they've basically done, they gave everyone one free weapon thing, but then after that you'd have to buy a load of weapon crate, like loot boxes, and just fingers crossed I might get the Stingray, I might not. My free weapon, I got the ballistic knives, which personally, if you've seen my videos, I prefer knifing, so I'm glad I got the knives over the Stingray. But the Stingray was just so OP, it was ridiculous, and yeah, it was shortly after that came out, I was just like, you can fuck off, game, because I know what you're trying to do. I've already spent, what was it for Black Ops, like the daddy edition, it was like 85 quid I paid for that game, and they didn't go, well, he's paid his money, let him have his fun. They just, all you can tell, the people who run them companies just sit there all day thinking, right, how can we ruin their experience more so we can offer something for money that'll then solve that problem so people spend more money. Whereas this game, it already feels like there's no way they've done that. Like, the amount of game you get for a start, like I said, and yeah, you could have got the season pass, or you now can buy the Khan and the Navistar for pretty cheap. Just a quick one, I was trying to be greedy here and take both trailers. That trailer behind me that I'm winching, obviously at some point there'll be a contract where I'm going to have to tow it out of the quarry. So while I was down here, I thought I'd try and tow it with me, see how far I could get, but the corners are a bit tight, so, well, a bit tight, very tight, so having like an, I don't know, like a 90-foot long road train was not going too well trying to get out of her. And yeah, I'm sure later on in the game, obviously they're going to do 4 lots of like DLCs that if you've got the season pass you'll get them as and when. They might do a few trucks that you can buy on the store, but microtransactions in themselves I'm perfectly fine with. I'm not automatically against it. I'm just against it when it's done in the all too common way that AAA multi-billionaire companies are doing these days, where, like I say, they try and find a way to ruin your experience and then offer you a way to pay your way back out of it, and it's like, I've already paid for the game, let me have my fun. And that's where this comes in, SnowRunner. It feels like they've said, right, you've paid your money, go nuts. If you don't like nighttime, skip it. If you don't like the trailers, sell them for what you paid for them. If you don't like the truck, sell it for what you paid for it. Just like every little thing really is pretty much, there's 1 or 2 little faults that I could find with the game. I'm trying to think, the biggest one really is that you can't activate tasks when you're not near them, and every now and then you have to drive back just to activate it. But stuff like that's going to come from feedback. Like the first time they do a big update on this, they're probably going to, you know, just tweak little things like that. So I've got no problem with stuff like that at all. It's not a major problem. Once you realise, once you've done it once, you soon remember to not do it again. So yeah, it's nothing. So anyway, that was a bit of a ramble there, but we're finally out of the quarry. I've emptied my trailer, so I've now got room for the concrete slabs. And like I say, because I ended up getting the metal planks and the consumables from Black River, the first map, it actually worked out pretty nicely the way I was able to sort of deliver it all on here. But obviously I'm just coming out of the quarry now. It was a little pause there because I was just saving the footage. And yeah, now I'm heading back to the service hub. And I remember that I was trying to drink my coffee, nearly binned it again. Luckily I got this bridge built. I think I actually did that on like the first night before just before I got or the second night, but it was just before I got toothache. I nearly made a video that night, and then my teeth started aching, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to bed. And yeah, 4 days later, or 5 days, whatever. So this is where we got the concrete slabs from. I could have just gone straight forward, but I thought I'd try and be clever and do a loop around the building, just so then I can drive straight out once I collect them. That's the one thing I'd say is a little bit crappy with the Navistar. The turn-in circle isn't great on it, but I appreciate in real life it might not be very good either. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's inaccurate, it's just not as much as I'd like. Some of the like highway vehicles, they have really good turn-in circles, but again, like in real life, a truck that's built thicker, has got big fat off-road suspension and axle and all the rest of it, probably would struggle to get its turning, like its wheel, whatever you call it, how much it can go left and right. It probably would affect that. So we've got our concrete slabs. We're on the home stretch, going back over the dam. You see him just I'm driving across. Well, I could just stop this truck now and eat my dinner just while looking at that view. And there's loads on them, but like all different maps. There's usually a spot you can find that's quite high up that you can just see right over the map, and yeah, it's really nice. See, again, got it in high gear. It definitely motors along. The thing I like about high gear is even when you're just starting to pull off and you're going pretty slow, you'll see once you bang it in high, it just, there's a right surge of power and it just gets going way quicker than climbing up the gears. Although I will say there was a little tip. If you're in auto, you can press L1 to change, like if you want to put it in high or low or whatever. While you're in auto, if you just tap L1, like literally press it and let go, it'll go up a gear in the auto box. So if I was in first out of 8, I think I've got on auto on this. Obviously tap that, it'll go to second. You can't just go like tap, 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 tap straight up to 8 if the revs aren't, if you know, your speed and revs don't account for it, it won't let you just keep putting it up. But you can actually just tap L1 and you'll jump up the gears quicker than the game would by itself. So that's something worth knowing. This is why you're about to see now I don't drive in this view. Finally did it now and I was like, oh, this is alright, this is not going too bad. Obviously there's the grates on the window, but it doesn't really block your view, I can see where I'm going. So yeah, I was like, what, we 10 seconds in? I was like, oh, this is alright, I should probably drive like this a bit more. Oh shit. Crashed. Not just crashed. Goodbye trailer. I was like, oh, you fucking joking me? I'm about 100 yards from the mission. So you're about to see, it's not that bad, like just a little quick detour rescue mission. But as you can see at the minute, what I was saying earlier, the concrete slabs are still in the trailer at the minute because they've kind of been strapped in. They are actually staying in. But then as you see, I slightly fuck it up a bit. I was winching the trailer. When it got to here, I was like, sweet, let go of the winch. Oh, you twat. So that was my fault. But then I had to winch it again. And what happened was, I winched it the second time. One of the concrete slabs decided its time is done. It's out. It's chilling on the grass. So obviously it's like, oh, you fucking joking me. But, as you'll see, I'm literally crashed outside my garage. And I've got a truck that can help me out. I'm just going to pull it back out there because it looks like it might want to try and tip itself. So even though it's a bit of a fuck up, obviously it's sort of, that's the half the point of this game. You're doing something, you fuck something up, and then you gotta change your plan, go and get something else, bring the big boy out. We've got the big crane. Much better engine sounds on this game as well. Some of them, like this, sounds good. It's like a lazy, sloppy V8. The Caterpillar big, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a big Caterpillar 6-wheel articulated middle thing. That thing sounds a beast. Put my little legs out. Let's go. This crane is pretty good. I'd like it if it extended a little bit further, but it's not bad. I don't know how other people are finding the crane controls. I've been fine with them. I think it's pretty intuitive. It's every now and then, if you're next to like a building or something, obviously the camera view can get a bit iffy, but other than that, it's yeah, I found it alright, to be honest. I didn't quite do it, I just reversed and I was like, oh my god, I thought I was going to tip the crane. Not that it really would have mattered, I could have just recovered it to the garage just over there, but still, I'm glad I didn't. Not quite close enough to that Navistar just to click change truck, so I just had to switch to it through the menu. Pack that cargo, get it strapped in again. And we're off. Like I say, I was only down the road from where I needed to be when I crashed it. But it couldn't have been a better place to crash it, like right outside the garage. And that's about it. There's materials order done. It's a good little mission, I thought, to be honest. I was quite glad of the little route and the way I did it in the end as well, so it worked out pretty nicely. There it is, she's done. What was that, £5 grand for that mission? Obviously the contracts do pay pretty nicely. They're usually a bigger mission than the tasks. So that's about it for today. I just want to show you one quick thing. It's only a few seconds at the end. This was just as I was about to start materials order. I just quickly dropped my trailer off because the GMC MH9500, I think it's pretty shit, to be honest. I know it's a road sort of vehicle, but Jesus Christ, that thing gets stuck in a puddle and it just can't handle it. So I was driving down here, just quickly going to rescue it out of the mud while I was near enough next to it. Thought I'd try a bit of drive-by winching. Don't drive by winch, because this is what happens. Winch to the fucking telegraph pole and rolled it. So anyway, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back pretty soon with some more SnowRunner videos. Thanks for watching.